If you're watching the help video for the image composite tool, I have to assume you don't know what the tool is or you're not quite sure how to use it. So let's talk about what you can do with an image composite. The difference between an average website and a great website is usually the graphics, and this tool will help us build graphics. If we look at an average title space, we'll see that we have a girl here with a microphone and a bunch of blank space. This isn't going to be really exciting at the top of your website. With the image composite tool, we can add graphics, text, and now our title space becomes this, which is going to look a lot better at the top of the website. If we look at a sample, we can look at a sample that uses a slideshow and a few pictures on the front page. You'll see that the slideshow has embellishments like banners and text, which make it a little more exciting and fun. If you look at the pictures on the side, they probably look plain. They probably look fine as plain pictures, but they look even better with little banners describing what they are. We go out to the e-commerce website, and you can see that this is a really great page. It's all graphics built using an image composite. The difference between this page or this page, which is very boring and plain, not a lot here, probably wouldn't even stop to look at it. But when you look at the home page, this is something that opens your eyes and gives you a different feel. And this is the kind of look that we can create with the image composite tool. There's several different ways to get to this tool depending on which area of the website you're using. If you come in directly from the Manage Photos, you'll see this area here, which tells you to select an image. If you've come in from one of the images, such as a title space or pictures that you want to modify, you won't have this option and your picture will be there automatically. First thing we want to do is put an image in there if we don't have one. We want to create an ad for our Bentley dealership. So we have a picture here that's just a standard picture and a lot of space. We can do things like adding text, adding images, uploading images, and we're going to go over all of those things in this video. The first thing we want to consider is what our image is going to look like. If you don't have a plan to build your image, it's going to be very difficult to build your image. We can use images from our website, and we went ahead and we uploaded into our saved layers a Bentley logo, which is ready to go, and we insert that. I'm going to put that on here. We also want to have the name of our dealership. So we're going to click on Add Text, and to add text we put in the name that we want to appear. We're going to write Smith Car Dealer. We can choose a size, and you can go from 0 to 180. I'm going to probably start at about 60, which is around 60. That'll be fine. You always want to have the text larger than you're going to use it, so you can downsize it. If you upsize it, it'll get grainy and blurry, and you don't want to do that. We can also add a border around the text, and we'll do a border of 1, and then we can choose a border color, and we'll do a border color of black, and then we want a text color. We probably want to match the car here to get the best look. So we'll go ahead and use our color selector and try to get down into the browns, and then right over here we'll see the color, and we probably want to match that as closely to the car as possible, or something in the browns, and that looks like that'll work. Then we have to select a font, and we'll go down and select for Dana Bold Italic. There's 20,000 different fonts you can use. You can go into page properties and choose different fonts and set them up, and they'll come in here in your list and they'll be available to use. When we click on the submit button, that's going to create a text layer for us, and you'll see it's bigger than we need to use. Down on the bottom corner you'll see a little square box, and if you click on that you can resize that layer, and you can go smaller, bigger, any way that you want to make that layer fit. We probably want to get it around the same size as our logo, and maybe a little bit bigger. So now we have the Bentley logo, we have the Smith Car Dealer, which would be the name of the dealership, and then we also want to tell people that we're on Facebook and Twitter. So we'll go over to the upload. We've saved a couple images from Facebook and Twitter that they have available. We'll click on Browse, and then in our computer we'll find here the Facebook icon and click on Upload. You'll see it'll upload it right in here, and we can drag it wherever we want to put it. We'll upload the Twitter icon, same way. And then we want to also tell people that we're on YouTube. And we went to YouTube and we got this YouTube logo. We upload that, and you'll see they're different sizes. So use your tool here. You can maintain the aspect ratio, meaning you can maintain the proportions or the width and height to the same proportions if you hold your shift key down. Hold down your shift key and it'll stay square. If you don't hold your shift key, then you can do what we did with this one, where you can change the width and height of those layers. Now we have these down here. We're just going to quickly, you can spend a little more time on it and hold your shift key and get them square, but for the sake of getting this video over, we're going to move these here. And we have these icons. Now we want to put a title up here that says Find Us on for YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We go back to our text. We can make the layer a little bit smaller, and it's just a starting point. You can resize it in the page. But if it's too big or too long, it'll get cut off because it can only be a certain size. So you'll have to work within those size parameters. Find Us on. And we'll just put a colon at the end of it. We want to do no border. It's going to be small text, and then our text color we would like to have white, and we're going to use the same font. We'll do the Arial bold italic, submit, and again that'll put this in the page for us. We'll resize that down so that it fits over the top of our icons, and just kind of get it to the size that looks good. And there you have Find Us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also link these icons using the image tool, image mapping tool, which is a different video and available under the Manage Photos section. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to add in a phone number. So we'll add in another layer and just type in the phone number. Again, we have to select a color. The font is already selected. We'll just do it in white. And we might want to put a border on this one, so we'll just do a border of black, which was already filled in. Border size of 1. We use the same font. You want to keep the fonts consistent through the image. If you have different fonts, it's just not going to look right. We'll submit that, and we have a phone number here. Again, it's too big, and we will size that down. So now we have the phone number, we have Smith Car Dealer, the Bentley logo, and all these images on here. Once we have that, we'll click on Save, and it'll save the image. Now we can save the image over the existing image, which would change the image anywhere you use it on your website, or we can save it as a new image. If you're going to use it in a slideshow or someplace else, and you don't want to modify the existing image on your website, then save it as a new image. We're going to save it as new. When we click on Save as New, it'll take us over to the image gallery, where now you can see that we have the composite image. We also still have the original image, so we can go back and modify it and change it or do something else with it, or use it someplace else on a page. As you can see, it's relatively simple to create some great graphics for your website. Now let's talk about some of the more advanced features and tools that we didn't go over in the regular demo. Here we've put in a title space which has mostly white area that you can add to. However, you can't really tell where the image ends and where the working area starts. So if we add any kind of a graphic, let's just put in a picture in here that we might want to add to it, we don't really know if it's going to be on the image or off the image. So we have a background button up here, which will change the background color, and you can see this isn't part of the image. Now we would have to move it in here to have it display on that area. You can change the colors to different colors depending on what color your background is, so you have a good contrast and you know exactly where the end of your image is. On the top you have the save, the background we talked about. Help will take you over to a help page with pictures and descriptions of how this works. The help video is this video that you're watching. And the custom layers will take us into a section where we can actually upload or create custom layers that will be saved for use. We can go in and we can upload layers, and this will include PNG, which can be transparent. You'll see we've uploaded some layers. We upload just like we would on any other upload. Go in here and select it, upload files, and if we go down with any luck we'll see that in here that's now available for use. Now this one happens to be a little bit bigger. We have crop and resize, and we can crop off of areas if we need to do that before we insert it into the picture. We can also create custom text layers. Created one for our title space that said My Real Estate Office, and this would be something that maybe you want to use over and over again and save a name or an address. This tool is also used in other places on the website, so you may be familiar with it, but you can create either a transparent layer or a layer with a background. So you can choose a background color, and this area in here will all be colored instead of transparent where you can see through it. We're going to go ahead and create a transparent layer here. We go over to text, and we can do a couple different lines. You can just type in my website. We do a size, same thing, border, color, same tools that we have over on the other page, a little bit different interface. And we might put in a phone number in different sizes. We can update this layer, and you see it's now we've created a layer. We can sit here and play with it and change it. If we want to make the text red, change the size to a little bit larger. Now we have that. We can add a border on here, border color in black, and we use colors that you can see on the video. And we might want to increase this to 30. And this keeps updating layers. So now we actually have a layer that's saved. We have other things in here like effects. We have a layer that's saved, and if we go back to our image composite tool, we can go back in and get to the image composite tool. When we put an image in here to work on, such as this fisherman, and we go to add art or images, there's a saved layers category, and there's the banner that we uploaded. Let's see if we can put that in there. And we also have this layer that we created with the phone number and my website. So if you're going to do multiple images or add sold to vehicles or houses, and you want to keep using the layer over and over again, you can create layers, either upload those or create text layers. This is also useful for things like logos, and here's a logo that we could put in there. So if we had a logo for our business, we can create a logo, put it in here, and then move it onto all of our pictures. If you have a car dealership and you want to put your logo on all your car pictures, this is the way that you would do that. One thing that I need to mention, if you're using layers or images from your website in your composite tool, you also have tools under your photo gallery to crop, change opacity, rotate, darken, create composites on those images, add frames and borders or effects like beveling on the pictures before you use them as layers. So if you're going to use layers, plan them out and modify your images before you get into the composite tool, where you can create the overall composite using multiple images. The last thing that I want to talk about is what you see on your screen. If your browser doesn't show exactly what you see in the video, then there's something wrong with your browser. We've tested this on several versions of Mozilla from 1.5 all the way up to the current versions. We've checked it on IE up to 9, and we're taking this video on Windows 7, so it's the most current operating, most updated system, and it's all working fine. The reason it may not work is if you're using virus software such as McAfee or other programs which will modify the way the browsers work. They can take things out of the page, they can prevent items from working, and they can actually rewrite the code that we send to your browser to function. So if you don't see the menu bar here, the buttons up here, and things aren't working as you think they should, then you need to check at your browser. Make sure you're using either Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari. Google Chrome is not supported. It never works on anything, so we just don't worry about it. And make sure that you have any virus protections turned off, like zone alarm or anything pop-up blockers, which may be modifying the behavior of your browser. As you're building your graphics, keep in mind that we have limited resources on the website as far as graphics and clip art libraries. You can go on to any search engine such as Google and do a search, and you can find millions, if not billions, of graphics that are available. Many of them are owned and copyrighted, and you won't be able to use those, but if you go to a place that is giving away free graphics, you can get these graphics, make sure that they are okay to use them, that they're giving them away free, and that the license that they give with it allows you to use it on your website and not just for personal use. You can find all kinds of graphics, all kinds of images, and you can even hire people out there to create banners and logos for you, which can be added to pictures.